this evening or morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you're watching this. I hope that you have had like a good past 12 hours. And I hope that you understand how special you are. And I hope you realize how amazing it is that you and I are together during this time. The dryer is going, so you may hear that in the background of the video. As always, before we get started with our yapping session, I will show you all my little protective mobile. Ethel's little protective mobile. It's so pretty, it's one of my favorites. And, par usual, did you have some water today? If you haven't, now is the time to do so. So let's go ahead and have some water together, shall we? I'm so thirsty. Oh my gosh. That's good. I put just a couple of drops of lemon in there to flavor it up a little bit. It tastes like a super fancy spritzer drink. Y'all, let me tell you right the fuck now. It has been an amazing week or so. I don't know when I last did one of these videos because I never check before I do them. But there have been some changes and some updates that I did not expect and that I didn't see coming. So something I moved to tell you right now is that on your journey, as you're asking for things, as you're attracting things, as you're manifesting, as you're walking along on your path, shit is going to come to you wrapped in packages that are not what you thought they were going to be wrapped in. So, when you over here on some, well, this is what I want, this is how long I want it to take, this is the type of thing I want, and you're being all, nitpicky about everything that you're wanting, just remember that oftentimes it's us being open to things happening in ways we did not expect that's going to lead you to some of the most amazing moments. So I have been doing video game streaming. I did not realize I've only been doing it for 3 months. At this point, I've only been doing it for 3 months. 3 months ago, I did my first live stream where I was trying to set up the sound on my computer so that I could play a video game. And if you go into my Tato's Playground playlist on this channel, you can go back to 3 months ago and you can find a video where it's a little robot, a little T-Rex robot, 3 minutes and 23 seconds as I say this, in the middle of the screen, and there are 3 hearts at the bottom, 3 video game hearts. That's the thumbnail, and that is the very first stream I did. It took me forever to get the sound going. There was only one person in the stream watching with me, or watching me and kind of patiently sitting there waiting for me to figure it out, and that was 3 months ago. It feels like 6 months ago because I feel like I've done so much since then. And I looked at it and I smiled to myself today because the setup was different. I had the setup in a location to where I couldn't stream at night because my sister would be home and it showed the entirety of our room. So I could not stream except for when people were all gone during the day. I was wearing wigs at that point because I was really in the place where I was enjoying wearing wigs and they were super fun to wear, and my hair was shorter then, so I could wear wigs. I only had my headset microphone, so the sound wasn't that great. It sounded like I was talking through like a CB radio, and just the lighting wasn't that great. Nothing was really set up, and that was 3 months ago. And now I have better lighting. I wear my natural hair on stream. I've played free games. I've played some pay for games. I have a channel. I have followers on that channel. At that point, I had no followers. I had like one person following me on Twitch, maybe. 5 minutes and 5 seconds as I say that. And I have followers now. I have a patron who's actually sent me items and money so that I can stream. And I'm in a different setup. I have a different computer screen. I have a microphone. I have a microphone arm. I know how to set up the programs in order to have things going. And I actually now have, again, going from doing it for the first time and it was just being by myself, I have made friends in the video game streaming space. And so I have people who are following me, who I'm following, and I'm watching them. I am a bit more knowledgeable about the types of video games that I want to play. I say all of that to say that in 3 short months, things have changed significantly. Even though I still live in the apartment with my parents, I am still doing videos in the same closet. I am still single. Even though legally I am not. I am still single. Not dating anybody, not talking to anybody. And when I tell you that I didn't think that it was possible to have things happen where you're leveling, like you're leveling up, but you don't have that giant shift where everything changes yet, I didn't realize you could be happy in these stages. I thought the only way I was going to be happy is if I was moved out of this apartment, if I was living with my soulmate, and if I was, 3 months ago, I didn't think I was going to stream full time. That wasn't even something that I was really, really like, okay, I believe it. Like, it's something I wanted to do. I also wanted, 3 months ago, I really wanted to attend PAX East in person. So what ended up happening, for those of you that don't know, PAX East is essentially, it's a gaming convention where you go, and it's held in Boston every year in May. There are PAX all over the place. This convention happens in other countries and other states too. I think there's a PAX West, if I'm not mistaken, that happens in California. But essentially it's this big video game convention that streamers and gamers and people who just appreciate, media of that kind, that's where they go. And I wanted to go. And I was like, I really want to go, I really want to go, I really wanted to attend. But what's interesting was I was open to attending in any way that I could. And so instead of being there in person this year, I was able to attend online. I didn't realize that PAX held a good chunk, 8 minutes and 8 seconds as I'm saying this, I didn't realize that they held a good chunk of the talks and the panels and stuff live on Twitch, the very website that I use to stream. I didn't know that. So I followed them on Twitch. I followed some other people. Did not realize there were other people who I could talk to. I was kind of in the chat, messaging live as, events were happening. And there were people sitting in the audience at PAX East who were on the Twitch Live app, and they were messaging those of us who were just attending live. They were like, yeah, I'm in the audience right now, like I really want to go to the bathroom but I don't want to miss anything, or man, I wish we had snacks in here, there's food trucks outside. And they're literally giving us a live look and conversation as to what was happening. The theme for this video at 9 minutes in, for those of you who are new here and for those of you who've been here with me for a minute, the theme of this video is, it's not gonna look like how you think it's gonna look, but it doesn't make it any less amazing. Doesn't make it any less amazing. Again, I had an idea, even though I kept saying, oh, I'm open to this and I'm open to that. I kept saying I was open, but I couldn't help it. I still had an idea of what all of that was gonna look like. When I was imagining attending this gaming convention, I was imagining that I was going to have the money, I was going to get the Airbnb that I chose. I chose an Airbnb. I looked for one. Was it an Airbnb? No, it was a Vrbo. I found a Vrbo that was going to be reasonably priced. I found the plane tickets, and I made a note of how much the plane tickets were going to cost. I made a list in my Excel sheet of how much food was going to be per day, how much travel was going to be per day. I did like a packing list in Excel. I literally planned that trip as if I was going to be there in person. And so you can imagine a person who does all of that would be a little disappointed when it's a week before and there's no more money in my account. 10 minutes and 23 seconds as I'm saying this, so this is significant for you. There was no money in my account, no more money in my account. I was sitting at like $4 strong in my bank account, which I'm grateful for. But I was sitting at $5 strong in my bank account, and I was here in the apartment really wishing that I could go, and knowing the day before there's just no way that's going to happen randomly. But I wasn't as disappointed as I thought I would be, because I was open to having whatever experience was going to get me the thing that I wanted. And what I wanted was to feel like I wanted that feeling of fulfillment. Now, when I say fulfillment, I'm talking about a feeling of fullness, of wholeness, of being like, whoa, that was amazing. I feel full. It's like when you eat food and then you've reached that cap and you're like, okay, I'm good. Not like overindulging, okay? 11 minutes and 23 seconds. So not eating until you feel like you're gonna throw up, or eating and then being super bloated, but eating right to the point where you're like, no, that's good. Like, I could eat more, but I'm not hungry. I'm satisfied. I'm good. That, to me personally on my journey, is fulfillment, and that's what I wanted. And I felt that fulfillment as I had the live screen pulled up on one side of my computer, and I'm watching this stuff happen live at PAX East 2025. And I was in the chat like, man, I really wish I was there. And there were people who were like, I also wish I was there. I'm currently at home in California. I wasn't able to make it. Or, hey, I'm in Oklahoma and I couldn't make it. And I was like, oh shit. And they're like, let's all try to make it for 2026. The amount of people, 12 minutes and 12 seconds as I'm saying this, the amount of people that I met through the PAX East chat, and now we follow each other. And we're excited about potentially going next year in 2026. It was just crazy to me how, even though I had done all that planning, y'all, I used to be the type of girl, I used to be the type of lady, 32-year-old lady, I used to be the type of girl who, when something did not happen that I planned for, I was disappointed as fuck. Disappointment used to take me out for weeks. I hated being disappointed. I hated when shit didn't go the way I wanted it to. And I know people would be like, well, you're an adult and disappointing things happen all the time. When you're a person who lives your life very reserved, you don't do a lot of planning for things. You just do certain things in your space so that you're not disappointed. The first time that you really, really care about something and that shit goes sideways, that level of disappointment is crazy. And so for me, I used to be a very disappointed girl when shit did not happen the way that I wanted it to. So I was shocked when I was actually excited to pop up early in the morning, earlier than I had been waking up. Early, I went into the kitchen, I made myself some hot tea, I made myself a bowl, like a fruit in the morning, and then I would come back and I would pull up, you know, the video on Twitch, and it would have a countdown of when the live was going to start, and I would be doing all my little stuff. I was job hunting, because I've still been looking for a job so that I could make some extra money and I could help the family out, because there's a lot of like healthcare stuff that's happening right now, so having another source of income would be incredibly helpful. So I have been looking for jobs, and I haven't been just applying to jobs every day, like hundreds of jobs, because you can't possibly apply to hundreds of jobs every day. Like, job hunting is an art, and in order to not get burnt out, the way you have to do it is you have to pick the jobs per day that you're going to apply to, because now, for those of you that don't know, job hunting has become just a little bit more difficult than it was before, as if it wasn't difficult before this. Now, before it was just the application. Now it's the application. Usually there's an assessment that takes anywhere from 30 to 45 minutes to an hour, and you could have more than one assessment that you have to do for the jobs that you're applying for. And then now they've started this thing where they require you for a lot of jobs that you're applying for. You can't even get past this point in the application to even apply A lot of places that I've tried to apply to are requiring that you record a 1-minute video about why you think you're best for the job. I was shocked at how many jobs I've tried to apply to that have had this, and so I looked it up. I looked it up on Reddit. I looked it up on, there were a couple of different, like Discord groups that I'm a part of people that are also job hunting and trying to move to different places, and I was like, is this a thing? And people were like, yeah, this is starting to pop up everywhere, where places are now requiring you to record a 1-minute video of yourself. And people are like, well, what am I recording it with? Like, how do I, because what they're saying is they want you to record the video and then they want you to give a link to the video. So you have to post it on like YouTube or LinkedIn or something. And so that's been, that's been its whole thing. And so I was watching this stuff live happening while I'm applying to jobs, and I was like, this is crazy how much fun I'm having. Eating my fruit bowl, I had a little bit of music playing on the side, and I'm collecting information and stuff. And so then PAX East came and went. It was, I think, 4 days long. It came, it went, and I was still looking for jobs. And there have been days where I definitely have been like, oh my gosh, like, I don't feel like anything's happening. I don't feel like anything's moving. What's going down? There has actually been a lot of movement. It's been internal though. So it's been a lot of lessons. It's been a lot of detaching from certain people in my life, cutting certain spiritual cords, moving through unhealthy dependency, like codependency on other people. It's been a lot of me realizing what my power is and working with spirit and working with my spiritual team. And I'm telling you, it's felt like so many months have happened in such a short period of time. And for those of you that watch the Spiritual Biddies videos that I do, where I do a tarot card reading, you notice those are not, like, I don't do those a lot, and it's because I only do them when I'm led. When it comes to spiritual things, I do not believe in doing anything when I am not led, because to me that's fake. It's fake for me to try to do something every day when I don't channel every day. Like, I don't get those types of communiques from spirit, from the beyond, if you will. I don't get those all the time. But when I do get them, they shock the shit out of me. And they're amazing, and I love them. But anywho, let me try to back up as I wet my whistle. So, did the PAX East stuff. Had some health stuff with my dad. My dad is officially on, he has a port now in the side of his stomach because he's going to be starting dialysis soon for kidney disease. He is on the kidney transplant list, and he is in very good spirits. He never experienced any of the pain people typically experience when it comes to kidney disease, and that has been a whole situation. Now, what's interesting is, during this situation where he has had the kidney disease, there's been a lot that I have had to assist with. And at some point, my mother was talking about things, and she was like, yeah, because I'm really going to need your help because I'm going to be out of town a whole lot. And I was like, yeah, it's crazy? It's crazy that I don't have a job right now. And she was like, actually, yeah, because the jobs that I've been applying to, they are very, you also work weekends. Like, you work all the time. Now, there are people who are home health and they take care of family members while they work full time. I'm not saying I wouldn't be able to do that, but the odd appointments that my father has been making that he would need help getting to and from, or people needing somebody here in the house to pick up, healthcare stuff that's delivered to the door, because this is like a home dialysis situation where he's going to need to, everything's going to be delivered here. And it's interesting that there have been more than one situation where me not working right now has been incredibly helpful to my parents. And at first I wanted to be salty about it. I was like, I don't want to be here. Take me out. Take me out of this situation. I'm tired of taking care of other people. I've been doing this shit for so long, please. But then I realized that there's a lot that I'm learning and that I'm being prepared for. So one of the things is, what is happening with being my most authentic self in this space. I had said in a video a while ago that it wasn't safe to be my most authentic self. And at that time, it wasn't. There was a lot of aggression happening. There was a lot of other people being really insecure about what was going on in their own space. And it was just difficult for me to exist. However, I swear every day it's been another realization. And I've constantly been like, hey, yo, spirit, when am I gonna be done? Okay? Like, not done, because I know shadow work and growth and self-betterment is a continuous thing. I know that happens until the day that I die. I pass from this plane of existence. But when am I gonna catch a fucking break, bruh? When am I gonna catch a break? And spirit kept saying, there's a reason all of this is happening. There's a reason. And I was like, okay. I had a fortune cookie in January, and the fortune that was in it said, trust that everything that happens this year is happening for a reason. And I have that fortune on my desk because I was moved to keep it. And every time something's happened and I've been pissed, 21 minutes and 12 seconds as I'm saying this, 2112, every time something happens that I don't like, I go and I look at it and I'm like, okay, I have to trust that everything that's happening this year is happening for a reason. Everything that is happening this year is happening for a reason. So, you remember how I told y'all, maybe you don't, I don't know if I communicated this, but when I first graduated with my master's a little over a year ago now, I was thinking that I wanted to work in, I wanted to be a teacher. I wanted to be a professor. So that's kind of what I was working towards. And I seemed to be running into all kinds of walls, all kinds of closed doors. Not a single window was open for me. And I've had a lot of false starts with jobs that I've wanted or things that I've considered doing. And so I have like Wix internet pages of jobs that I thought that I was gonna get. I've changed my LinkedIn 50 billion times by this point because every time I thought that I had figured something out, something else would come through. So today, I wake up and I was moved to go outside, and I was moved to go, kind of speak to and meditate around 2 trees that are here in our apartment complex that I go and I spend time with outside. Like, it's very shaded. It'd be very hot here in Florida. Like, during the day, this shit gets so hot here. And so I go, and usually one of these 2 trees I'll go and I'll stand under, the shaded area, and I'll just kind of hang out with the trees, get that oxygen. And 23 minutes as I say that. So if you can, you should either open your windows in your house so you can get some airflow, some natural airflow, or you need to go outside and you need to go touch a tree. And just take 5 deep breaths while you're touching that tree. So I went out there and I had some little gifts that I left for the trees, little crystals. And as I was coming back inside, I heard, it's time to combine. It's time to stop compartmentalizing. And I was like, okay, what do you mean by that? I didn't hear anything. So I came back inside, I go to my computer, and I got a text message from someone. And this person, who is a very, very wonderful, wonderful young man, messaged me and said that he was currently watching the last Spiritual Biddies video that I did, the reading that I did. It's entitled Stop Running from Sleep. And he was like, I am 19 minutes in and you've read me for filth. Like, if you were going to step on my toes, you could have just sent me a message. And I laughed because this person, I did not realize that he watched that type of content. There are a lot of people that I know who do not take in oracle reading or tarot card reading content at all. They're not those types of people. 24 minutes and 24 seconds as I say that. I don't know why that's significant, but it is. And he was like, I don't usually take in that type of content. However, it's you. And I know you. And I know the type of person that you are. And I know you're not a person to bullshit me. So I was very interested and was very curious. And it's crazy that what you're saying has to do with what I'm going through right now. And it was in that moment that Spirit said, there. Stop compartmentalizing. It's time for you to combine the two. And I was like, the two of what? And it was like, what you do. I have been saying recently that I am, as far as the job that I currently have, I am a video game content creator. That's what I do. I create video game related digital content and I post it on various social media sites, and then I stream video games live to people who enjoy those video games or who enjoy watching other people play video games. For those of you that are like, what, that's a thing? It is a thing. There are massive audiences of people who do this, and they pay for that type of content. They subscribe to certain people's channels and they will pay however much money a month to be a part of those communities, because some of these communities are really great communities to be a part of. And that's what I've been saying. That's what I've been working on. I actually have an opportunity that came through for me to work with a company where I'm essentially going to be doing an ad for a company, and I'm getting paid for that. And I'm very excited about that opportunity. I can't really talk about it too tough, but that was an opportunity that came through. And so a part of that opportunity was me being very clear about what is the type of work that I do. Well, I don't currently have like a 9-to-5 job. And so I was like, well, what do I say? And Spirit was like, you are a video game content creator. You're a digital content creator. That's what you do. So then today they were like, combine the two. I was like, combine the two what? And they said, your metaphysical stuff that you do on YouTube. These types of talks. Your oracle and your tarot card readings. All of that. Do it all. And I was like, I have no idea how to do that. I have no idea how to do that. I have no idea how to combine those things to create that type of brand or platform. Those things seem very opposite to me, video games and spirituality. They seem very different. And I have no idea what that brand looks like. Because I was like, well, does this mean I have to create a whole new brand? And Spirit said, no. Everything that you're doing, you just keep doing. All you're doing is taking one thing that you do over here, and you're going to connect those two things together. And your audience that wants that content is going to keep coming through. And I was like, okay. And so Spirit made some recommendations on where in my bios to change certain information. And I did it. Because the first thing I did was I started being like, okay, so how am I going to add like the spirituality stuff? Okay, so I went into my Excel sheet that has all of my stuff for my Tato the Penguin brand, which is my gaming brand. And I started like compiling it to gaming and spirituality, and Spirit said, see, this is the problem. You're trying to separate the two. You're going to do both of these together. Now, I came up through school, and one of the big things that we talked about in digital marketing is that you don't want to do too many things at the same time. You want to do one thing, you want to get really good at that, that is your thing, and then if your business has been happening long enough, you get a following, then you add more stuff. Spirit said, I don't care what your marketing class told you. I don't give a fuck about all that. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. You're going to combine it. And I was like, okay, cool. So, not only am I a video game content creator, but something that I actually have been for a long time, but I don't have a certification, so I never said that I was this person, is that I am a metaphysical peer support specialist. And essentially, for me, what that is what a normal peer support specialist is a peer support specialist is a person who has been through mental health challenges or certain types of addictions or drug abuse, and they found a way to overcome it. And then what they do is they go to other people who are currently struggling or who are going through it, and they support those people. There's a whole certification that you can get for it, so I'm saying that so maybe somebody here is trying to figure out what it is they're supposed to be doing. Look up what a peer support specialist is, and go look up what that certification entails. That might be something, 29 minutes and 23 seconds that I say that might be something that is for you or that you might be interested in. And so I was like, well, I don't have a certification, and Spirit said, you don't need one. Because you're a metaphysical peer support specialist. You have a long history of spirituality, of things that have worked for you, of realizations, of your assistance helping other people, suggesting things. That is what you're going to use. And you're going to add that. And I was like, okay, I was really excited. I started brainstorming and making notes and all kinds of stuff, and I still don't know what that's gonna look like. Like, I really don't. Like, I don't know. I just finished a new streaming schedule for video games that I created that I haven't even started using, and Spirit was like, here's something else. And so Spirit was like, this is what we were talking about. We took you through the gambit of all of the internal stuff you needed to do to prepare you, 30 minutes and 23 seconds as I'm saying this, to prepare you for all of the thing that you actually want, the thing that gives you fulfillment. Because ultimately, I want to create a safe space. I want to create a community of people who can come and they can joke and they can be silly and they can kind of do their own thing and they can just relax. I've been wanting to do that for so long. And so I'm very nervous because I will be more vocal about the metaphysical work that I do. I prefer the term metaphysical over spirituality because spirituality has been, that word has been bastardized, honestly, if I'm being real with y'all. Like, anytime you look at anybody talking about spirituality, it's somebody with a water bottle that has a chamber for a crystal in the bottom. And I always be looking at them crazy. But, so that's something new that I'm gonna do. And it's a bit nerve-wracking. And I was like, well, how do I know this is gonna work? And it's like, because what else are you gonna do? I was like, well, that's true. What else am I gonna do? That's the big question. So, I've always like tried to like manifest and attract things that I felt like were feasible, like things that I saw that other people did. But what I do, what I provide, and what I've provided off of the internet, like outside of these videos and stuff, I've not seen it combined in a way that makes sense. So I don't know how this is gonna work. I have no idea. I've been doing these videos for so long, and I looked back at some of my earlier videos, and we are in triple digits as far as the views that I have on these videos. And I was like, well, you know, it's got views, but it doesn't have likes. And Spirit said, we're not doing this for likes. Remember, the reason you're doing this is because we are moving you to do it. There are people who, they're not the types of people who will like a YouTube video. They're not the types of people that are going to subscribe. They're definitely not the types of people who are going to hop in your comment section and talk about stuff. But you're doing this because it needs to be seen. I saw a video the other day, and this girl said, y'all keep telling me to post stuff, and I'm posting stuff. It's not about me posting, it's the fact that nobody's engaging. So like, I'm posting all these videos and I'm only getting 2 and 3 views. And that's how I felt. And Spirit let me know, they said that's because you're doing it for the wrong reason. You're wanting likes, you're wanting comments, you're wanting all this other stuff when your job is simply to put the information out there so that the people who need to see it can see it. The people whose lives you change, you may never meet those people. But that's ego making you think that you need to see the outcome of it instead of just helping somebody. I was like, well, how I know it's getting out there? They're like, because views. 33 minutes and 33 seconds as I'm saying that. It used to be that you only ever saw likes, comments, and shares on videos. You never saw the views before. But now on YouTube, on I don't think Instagram does it, but on YouTube you can see views. On TikTok you can see views. You can see that people are actually looking at your video. And I've been seeing a lot of videos talking about escaping the triple digit hell that is TikTok, where your videos will get up to like 300, 400 views and then nothing. And they're like, here's how to get out of it. And Spirit said, you don't need to focus on that. Just keep posting the content. Keep doing what you're doing, because as you're doing it, you're getting better at it. You're getting more comfortable at it. It's getting less difficult to do. It used to take me all day to create one thumbnail for a video. I just posted 3 separate videos and I was able to make 3 separate thumbnails in a day. When I first started, if you had said that, if you'd been like, hey, at some point you're going to be able to do 3 different thumbnails in one day for a video and you're going to do it while watching something, I would have laughed in your fucking face. I would have been like, absolutely not. I don't have the facilities for that, is what I would have told you. So it's so interesting to be on this journey where all of this is happening this way, because I thought it was going to be different. I'm going to be real with you. Here's what I thought. I'm going to describe to you what I thought was going to happen so we can laugh together. I thought that I was going to be posting these videos back. The videos that are like this, when I was posting them every night. I thought I was going to be posting these videos, and then I was going to wake up one morning and it was going to be like 99 plus notifications for YouTube, for TikTok. I thought I was going to look up and I was going to see 50 plus followers on Twitch, and it was going to happen randomly. I thought I was going to get an email from somebody like, hey, we've looked at your content, we want to hire you, or we want to collaborate with you. I thought I was going to get a message from my soulmate who had stumbled upon one of my videos, or who had seen one of my videos and reached out and was like, hey, like, you know, I just kind of want to get to know you, or somebody was going to follow me, you know? That's the type of shit I was expecting. I was expecting getting viral, having kind of overnight success. And every day that didn't happen, I was like, oh, whatever. I would see a comment or I would see a like on one of my videos, and I would be incredibly like, okay, cool, but I need more. Now when I see one new view on something, I am so grateful. Because a person took their time to open it. If they scrolled and it popped up for at least a couple seconds. So that's what I thought was going to happen. I thought my whole life was going to change. I thought that I was going to meet my soulmate, and he was going to be on some, let me move you out your parents' house. Come on, baby, come with me. Thought I was going to get a random check in the mail for $1 million. I thought a lot. When you're a creative person, you can imagine all kinds of different scenarios where you get the thing that you've been wanting or that you've been attracting. And every day that stuff wasn't happening, I was looking at the universe like, you do not give a fuck about me. This whole time you've been saying, just believe, and I've been believing. Where the fuck is it at? But so much has changed with me internally. I'm not as nervous as I was. I'm not nearly as anxious as I was about the newness of things. One thing that has been a massive change that I didn't realize I needed to work on was your girl was very dependent upon other people. Within the past 2 weeks, I just got really excited and 100% comfortable with moving out of here and living either on my own or living with roommates that I don't know. I just got comfortable with that. And now I think, how was I expecting that I would move out like overnight when I was not in any way ready to move out, because I was still nervous about living away from people I already knew. I am currently contemplating moving to really anywhere at this point. I'm open. I loved Boston. I love Boston, Massachusetts. I would love to be back up there. And when I say Boston, I mean any of the area. I don't mean like the heart of Boston, though that would be cool. I'm willing to go to Boston, overseas, other states. Excuse me. Confirmation burp. I am actually truly open to being anywhere at this point, and that was not the case before. I said I was open, but then in my mind I'd be like, well, I really want to be here. Well, I really want to be here. Now it doesn't matter. It's crazy. I had no idea what games I was going to play 3 months ago, and now I have an entire Excel list of free games that I've looked at, that I've researched, that I've started playing. I even had a patron send me money. Thank you if you're watching this video. You know who you are. Who sent me money so that I could pay for a game so that I could play it. I've never had that happen before, where somebody has sent me money specifically so that I could play a video game. That's wild. That's crazy. That is crazy to me. I am now excited about moving out. I still have a little bit of packing to do. I need to get into storage, and I need to clear out a lot of my stuff. Ooh, my back cracked. I was gonna say excuse me, but it wasn't a burp. So, things are happening very differently than I thought they were going to happen. And I'm here for it. And I gotta tell you, I am so, focused on what's happening with my streaming and my brand, in what I'm doing. I think about my soulmate. I do. I think about meeting him. I think about that whole thing. But it's not nearly as detrimental to me as it was before. Because now I kind of am living my life with he's definitely coming along, but if he doesn't, I'm still living a life that I'm super duper happy with. That's something that I started doing. Instead of saying, well, I don't want to leave this place, or I want to be here, or I want to be over here because this is where I'm likely to meet my soulmate. Yeah, I was doing that type of shit. Now I'm like, well, it doesn't matter where I'm at. As long as I'm able to stream, as long as I'm able to assist people and give some type of support metaphysically, I'm happy. I'm happy. I have been giving, in particular, metaphysical peer support. I've been doing it for years. I have so many people who actually are like they would have, what do you call them? Reviews or testimonials of people who've been like, wow, I don't know how you knew this, but it really helped me out. I've had dreams about people, and I've reached out and been like, hey, I know this is weird, but I had a dream about you, and this is what happened, and this is what I think it means, and you can take this or leave it. I'm not a professional. I'm not a person who has a certification, but these are just my thoughts. And it's proven to be exactly what that person needed to hear in that time. But there have been so many times where I've had dreams or I've said things to people and it hasn't been exact. And so I haven't wanted to say that this is something that I do because it's not exact. And for those of you that don't know, I am an Aquarius. So I really don't like putting myself out there in that way. I like things to be for certain. I like things to be able to be replicated. So that is what's been happening with you, girl. I'm very, very excited. Very excited. And what's crazy is I've actually had a lot of interactions when I've left the house with men that have been very the vibe has been they was gonna ask me out. But because of the fact that I was moving, it didn't happen. And I was like, why? What's happening? And Spirit was like, well, no, you definitely are in a place where your man is manifesting you. So we don't want you wasting your time with nobody else. Focus on your brand, focus on your streaming, focus on your metaphysical work, focus on your shadow work, focus on being supportive right now where you're at with your family, and enjoying the time that you have sharing a space with your sister, because that is all going to end soon. And I've been seeing so many synchronicities. I've been seeing so much shit that has been you are going to leave this space. And it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen so quick. And you're gonna be like, what? But it's not going to be quick as in overnight. One morning you're gonna wake up, you're just gonna be somewhere else. It's no. You're gonna get I am packing to leave. And what I'm realizing is not everything is sudden. Not everything happens in what we usually think as a sudden moment. But one moment, you don't have a thing, and then the next moment you're told something is coming. And then you do have that thing. So, in one moment, I had 44 minutes and 44 seconds of saying this. In one moment, I had 0 followers on Twitch. And I was live, playing video games, and talking to myself. over the course of 3 months, I have gained, on average, 10 followers a month. And that doesn't seem like a lot. But those are people who decided it was worth it enough to follow my page, to occasionally pop in and watch me play video games. And for some people, it's not occasionally. Every time I go live, they're there. Every time I'm live, they're in there. And either they are chatting, or I know they're watching because they send me a text and they're like, hey, I'm excited to see you live tonight. I'll be watching it in the background while I'm doing other stuff, but, you know, I'm going to be popping in occasionally, even though I'm not saying anything in chat. That type of support is amazing, and I love it. But it's like, it hasn't been overnight. Everything has been gradual, and I was told this. In December of 2024, I had been doing like the specific spiritual work since October, and I had 2 different spiritual women tell me, and then Spirit told me, your growth is going to be gradual. But what it's going to do is it's going to give you the opportunity to get ready for every step so that at no point you are overwhelmed to the point where you break under pressure and then can't handle it. Like, I have had it happen where I have gone live and I've had people in my chat watching me and something's gone wrong. It's happened more than once. I had one night where I couldn't get everything erased from the program that I was using, so I had to go live on my phone, and it was incredibly uncomfortable. It was unplanned. It was literally an emergency situation, and I was freaking out and I was shaking. But now, if my shit doesn't work, I know how to handle it because I went through it already. When I first started streaming, I acted really weird on camera because I wasn't comfortable being on camera and talking to people while playing video games. And now I've been doing it for 3 months. I'm way more comfortable. When I go back and I look at, because I saved some of the videos, when I go back and I look at what I was first doing, it's so different to me. I look so uncomfortable in those first videos, bro. I'm like, bro, you can relax a little bit. Like, you could chill out a little bit. I mean, if you fart on stream, nobody cares. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. But I thought people cared. Bro. Now I just be saying shit that comes to mind on stream, and it's crazy because I was trying to appear a certain way, and now I don't. I just turn on that camera, I hop on there, I'm comfortable, I talk to people, I play video games, I make jokes, I laugh, I eat while I'm on there. I'm having a good time, and it's great. I never thought it was gonna happen like this. It feels more like coming home than it does standing on a stage and performing in front of thousands. And I feel like this is significant for you, where we often think that our success moment, and this has happened before where I've talked about the fact that we think success is gonna feel big. It's gonna feel like, oh my god, money's falling from the sky, people are wanting my autograph, they all want to date me. Like you think everything is happening and it's gonna feel a certain way. And this is why I think certain people keep trying to chase that feeling, because they get to a place and it doesn't feel like what they thought it was gonna feel like. So like, I feel so good. I feel so good, y'all. Like, every day that I am turning on my camera to stream these fucking video games for people, I'm cheesing. Because it feels like coming home. It doesn't feel like hopping up on a stage in front of thousands of people. And I think I had to get to this point before I could kind of integrate, you know, my metaphysical work into it. Because I feel like before I wasn't confident. Now I'm confident. I've had enough people comment negative shit on my videos or message me and tell me that, you know, literally anything. And I'm like, okay, that's nice. My confidence used to be the type that would be shattered. It would be shattered if somebody, was talking shit about what I was doing. And now I've been doing this long enough and I've had enough commentary. I don't care. And it's so nice to be in that space. I've got to cut my toenails. Oh my lord. oh my Lanta. I'm literally rocking with the little talons from Jurassic Park when that velociraptor was coming around the corner and it was like tapping its foot. That is what I'm working with right now. It's giving bird person from Rick and Morty. Oh my gosh, that's terrible. We gotta fix that. But that's a job for tomorrow. But everything is happening so differently. And I used to really need the spiritual validation. 50 minutes and 23 seconds as I say this. I really used to need the spiritual validation. Like when things would happen to me, I would contact my spiritual girlies in the chat that we have, and I would tell them things, and I wanted them to tell me that they felt something about it, or that they felt like that they got a download. I was looking so desperately, searching so desperately for some type of validation about my journey. And now I just do things when I feel moved. I don't need anybody to approve it. I don't need anybody to tell me it's a good idea. I just start doing shit. And it feels amazing. It's such a different headspace to be in, I gotta tell you. It is so different. I feel different. I kind of feel like Violet from Incredibles. When he was like, Violet? And he was like, you look different. She was like, I feel different. Is different okay? And he was like, yeah, different's great. She didn't need to ask him that. Tony Reidinger from the first Incredibles, bro, looked like he smoked 6 packs a day. But I feel different, but it's a good different. I'm calmer. I'm so much calmer. Like every day, I'm not as like manic as I was before. And I like it. I like it so much. It's interesting. So when it comes to like my spiritual practice, for those of you who are still here, 51 minutes and 51 seconds as I say this, I actually work with specific like spiritual deities and entities. So I have done work with Isis. I have worked with Aphrodite. I've done a little bit of work with there are a couple others from a long time ago, but recently I have done work with Hecate, and that has been very serious. She has been very serious. And these relationships are so interesting. It's so interesting being like a girly who was on her woo-woo spiritual shit, because it's crazy how many like confirmations and synchronicities I get in a day when I'm working with these entities. And then what's funny is I left the church 52 minutes and 52 seconds as I'm saying this. I do not identify as Christian. I read the Bible. I did all of that. I used to be a part of the church. I was raised Seventh-day Adventist. That is not my thing anymore. And then recently, as I was meditating and practicing, I was like, why am I seeing so much like, why am I getting so much like imagery from this? And I was meditating, and they're like, because they're going to be people who you're talking to and who you're dealing with, that is their chosen connection to the divine. I believe that every human being that exists has a connection to that one energy. You know how they say, if God existed and God needed people to believe that he existed or else they would go to hell, God knows what every person on this planet would need to convince them that he is real. Like that argument. I don't know if you've heard that argument before, but that's like a conversation. And I believe that when it comes to that one universal energy, it manifests differently to every person depending upon what they need at that time. So the last Spiritual Biddies video that I did, I felt to speak on what it was that God was saying to somebody who was watching that video. And then I received messages about it, and they're like, I thought you were. I was like, I'm not. When I'm channeling, I'm literally just sitting there telling you all what it's almost like it's almost like vomiting. Like it's coming out. And there are times where I stop, and it's not that I'm trying to figure out what to say, it's that it's coming at me so fast. Yeah, 54 minutes, 54 seconds. It said it's coming at me so fast. I'm not sure how to word it because it's happening so fast. And I was like, yo, I don't want to attract the wrong types of people to my page, but Spirit was on the everybody who is meant to see these videos and who needs this information is going to see it in a way that resonates with them. So somebody needed to hear in that last video, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. Stop trying to do your own thing where you're trying to make shit work. You don't have to make shit work. The fact that the person watching that video is a spiritual person, it's not your job to make shit work. There is an energy much bigger than you that is manning the difficult details. All you gotta do is listen to the nudges and lock in. That's all you gotta do. 55 minutes, 55 seconds as I say that. Our job is actually far easier just existing and being and figuring out what it is that we want. That doesn't seem easy, but it is easy compared to all of the shit that Spirit has to move in order to make shit happen. It's crazy. Like the fact that I don't know if I ever would have streamed. I don't know if I ever would have done this spiritual work if things had gone the way I wanted them to. If after I had gotten married, I had started having kids and I was living in the state that I was living in, I don't know if I ever would have gotten here. If I ever would have made the connections with people that I've made with them. I don't think that would have happened. If it did, it might have happened like way, way, way down the road, you know? But, yeah, this whole thing is weird, man. It's weird as shit. Like, literally leaving the church and then connecting with the divine, that divine energy in a whole different way that just feels absolutely batshit crazy. I'm gonna be real with you. It's crazy. And the amount of people that I've met who were just, something that I've been hearing just in my mind is that I'm just like this freaky little weirdo. I'm just a freaky little weirdo. I've always been trying to make myself appear a certain way, and at this point in my life, that's no longer my job. So I'm just here, just being a freaky little weirdo, attracting other freaky little weirdos into my space, and it's really cool to see how many different types of people are also just weirded out by this whole thing. What is this whole thing? Just the climate right now. I did not fart. Yeah, see? I can replicate the sound. It's me leaning my foot on a sandal. But yeah, man, it's been amazing. And I'm absolutely living for it, and I'm loving it. And it's so crazy how everything is shaping. I can see so many different ways that this can go, but I'm enjoying it not going like the way that I thought it was gonna go. I'm excited because I think one of my biggest concerns with meeting my soulmate was that if I went public with all my spiritual shit, that they would not fuck with it. That they'd be like, oh, this girl crazy. And then I saw a TikTok that said, don't you think that your soulmate would actually love the shit that you do and want to be with you and admire all the shit that you do? Why would you be afraid that your soulmate wouldn't fuck with who you are authentically? If it's your soulmate, they're 100% gonna fuck with who you are. You shouldn't be hiding yourself from that person. And I was like, well, damn. Stepped all over my fucking toes. Oop, almost knocked over my water. But yeah. So I think those are my updates, and I think, again, the biggest thing right now is just to maintain your authenticity. If there's a part of you that you're still not showing and that you're still not being authentic about, I think you should be. I think that's been this whole thing since October 2024, has been to really lock it into authenticity and lock it into what it is that you want to do. What do you want to do, man? Me, I want to create my community. I have a name for my community. I didn't think... it's weird. I think it's weird because, again, I have no words. I'm just grateful. Ooh, something that I was moved to share. when you are a grateful person and you talk about the things that you're grateful for, it's not just about like, oh, I'm just being grateful, oh, butterflies, rainbows, unicorn farts, all that stuff. It's not just that. The reason you want to be grateful is because gratitude puts you in a more relaxed space so that your mind is open to accepting new information. We know that when emergency situations happen, the reason why people will say don't panic and you need to stay calm is because when something is happening, you need to have your faculties about you so that you can do what you need to do in an emergency situation. When it comes to your life right now, and I'm sorry that you had to wait a full hour to hear this specific message, but if you're still watching at this point, then this message is for you. Gratitude right now is going to allow you to focus, or it's going to allow you to receive the information that you need in order to move forward in the way that you want to go. So for me, I was complaining about my situation. I was complaining, and Spirit was like, so you complaining is actually making it worse, A, and B, your mind is closed off to all these opportunities that are potentially coming through. I stopped complaining. I started talking about the things that I was really, really happy about and that I was grateful for, or that I thought was really cool or really funny. And ideas started popping into my head randomly. So I have a whole sheet of brainstorming ideas for my brand, and I'm working on those every day. And I'm just thoroughly enjoying it. I'm thoroughly enjoying it. So I want to reiterate how much I love y'all. I love y'all so much. Thank you to those of you who have been watching my videos and who you've been here since October 2024. It's crazy. I'm excited to see what is going to have happened in October of 2025. I'm excited to do like a recap of the year. I'm so excited because so much has happened since then. And we're not even in the fall yet. It's crazy. But I love you guys so much. And then for those of you who are new here and you just got here, welcome. Welcome to the community. I'm so happy that you're here. This is an exciting time. And it's a pretty chill growth process. It's pretty chill. So it's chill here. If you want to come and kick up your feet, you want to have some videos playing in the background, you just want to chill out, you can always come and hang out. Because of the nature of the way that I'm connecting my spirituality stuff to the gaming stuff, again, if you ever want to come by and you have questions or you just want to chat for a while, whenever I'm live, you can hop over there. So I believe the Twitch link in any of my gaming videos, you can go down to the description and you can click the link and it'll take you to my channel and you can follow me. And then you'll get notifications of whenever I go live if you're interested, and then you can hop in there and you can come say hi. If you have any questions, I can answer them. If you have any comments, worries, concerns, anything, you can just come by and talk to me and I'll be there. I'ma be there. Yeah, yeah, I'ma be there. But yeah, I think that's all I have. So I think I'm gonna take my happy ass to bed. And I will holler at y'all later. Yeah, so I will holler at y'all later. Have a good night. I love you guys, and I will see you. I'll catch you on the flip side. Whatever the flip side is.